Hello, I'm Sterling Rockmoor. For those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, I'm the founder and managing partner of Sterling Rockmoor. I'd like to start our time together with a choice, a simple one. Let's say I offered you two deals. Behind door number 1 is a briefcase with $1 million, cash. It's yours right now, no strings attached. Behind door number 2, there's a single penny, just 1 cent. But I'll make you a promise. I'll double that penny for you every day for 31 days. So tomorrow you'd have 2 cents, the next day 4, and so on. Which do you take? The instant million or the humble penny? Most folks would take the million. It's the logical choice. For the first few weeks, they'd be feeling pretty smart about it too. But then a funny thing happens in that penny account. The doubling starts to take on a life of its own. That single penny, by the end of its 31-day journey, grows to be worth over $10 million. This little riddle exposes one of the most powerful and misunderstood forces on Earth. It's been called the eighth wonder of the world. I'm talking about compound interest.
At its heart, compounding is a beautifully simple idea. It's the process of earning a return not just on your initial investment, but on the accumulated returns as well. Think of it as a chain reaction. Your money earns you more money, and then the money that money made starts working for you too. It's a virtuous cycle. My favorite way to think about it is with a snowball. Imagine you're standing at the very top of a long snow-covered hill on a perfect winter day. You scoop up a bit of snow and pack it into a small, dense ball. That's your principal, your starting capital. Now, you give it a gentle push. As it rolls, it picks up more snow. That's your return. At first, the progress is almost comically slow. After a few feet, the snowball is only a tiny bit bigger. This is the point where most people lose interest. It feels like too much work for too little reward. They get impatient. But the secret to building a truly enormous snowball isn't how hard you push it. The secret lies in two other things: the quality of the snow and the length of the hill. The quality of the snow, whether it's wet and sticky, is your rate of return. A steady, decent rate of return is like perfect packing snow. It grabs more of itself with every single rotation. But the most powerful force of all is the length of the hill. That, my friends, is time. There is the magic ingredient. With a long enough hill, even a small snowball can grow into something of immense size and power. The growth isn't a straight line. It's not linear. It's exponential. The amount of new snow the ball picks up in year 20 is exponentially greater than what it picked up in year 1, because its surface area, its accumulated capital, is so much larger. Our brains have a hard time with this. We're built to understand addition, but compounding is a force of multiplication. Grasping that difference is the first step toward building real generational wealth. Now, this isn't just some abstract theory that lives in a bank account. At Sterling Rockmoor, we see this principle as the very soul of a great American business. It's what creates a durable competitive advantage, what we like to call a deep and wide moat. Let me tell you about a kind of company we love. Picture a business started back in the 1960s in America's heartland, say the Ohio Tool and Die Company. They didn't make anything flashy. They made high-quality, reliable hand tools for skilled tradesmen. In their first few years, they made a modest profit. The founder could have taken that money and opened a fancy headquarters or paid himself a huge salary. He didn't. Instead, he reinvested. He bought a better forge from Germany that could temper steel to a higher hardness. He started an apprenticeship program, paying young workers a good wage to learn the trade from his master craftsmen. He took the time to build relationships with his steel suppliers, ensuring he always got their best product. Every wrench and every hammer that left his shop wasn't just a sale, it was a deposit into the company's reputational bank. The interest that compounded wasn't financial, it was trust. It was the unwavering loyalty of plumbers and mechanics who knew that an Ohio tool and die wrench would never let them down. Fast forward to today. That company is an economic fortress, A big box store can sell a wrench made overseas for a fraction of the price, but they can't sell a 60-year reputation. They can't replicate the decades of compounded knowledge in the hands of that company's workforce. The financial capital of the business certainly grew, but the real compounding happened in its brand, its culture of quality, and its relationship with its customers. That's a moat that no competitor can cross easily. It's a business that has allowed time to become its greatest ally.
If compounding is this powerful, you have to ask, why isn't everyone taking advantage of it? The answer is that this beautiful, powerful engine is also surprisingly fragile. There are enemies that work tirelessly to break it. The good news is, these enemies are not mysterious forces of the market. They are simple, human, and, with a little discipline, entirely defeatable. The first enemy is fees. Think of your life savings as a barrel you're trying to fill with rainwater. Compounding is the steady rain. Now, imagine you hire someone to watch your barrel, and for their service, they drill a tiny 2% hole in the bottom. It doesn't seem like much, but that hole leaks every single day, rain or shine. After 40 years of that slow, steady drip, you might find that half of your water has leaked out onto the ground. That's what high management fees do to your investments. They are a silent tax that can consume a staggering portion of your rightful returns. Keeping costs to a minimum isn't just good housekeeping, it's a primary defense of your financial future. The second enemy is impatience and emotion. This is the big one. We're human. We see our snowball moving slowly and we lose faith. We look over at the next hill and see people gambling in the casino of the stock market, chasing some hot tech stock or cryptocurrency. It looks exciting, and our slow and steady plan feels boring. So we abandon our long hill for a shortcut, but there are no shortcuts. Chasing hot trends is like trying to roll your snowball down a rocky cliff face. It's more likely to shatter than grow. This impulse becomes most destructive during a market panic. Fear is a primal force, and it will scream at you to sell everything when the market is down. But selling in a panic is the cardinal sin of investing. You are locking in your losses and guaranteeing you miss the recovery. Your temperament, your ability to be calm when others are panicking, is far more important than your IQ. The third enemy is unnecessary activity, driven by the feeling that you must always be doing something. Many investors think they need to be constantly tinkering, buying and selling. But every time you sell a winning investment, you invite Uncle Sam to the table to take his cut in taxes. You are actively shrinking your own snowball. The great irony is that some of the most successful investment strategies involve long periods of masterful inactivity. It is the discipline to buy a piece of a wonderful business at a fair price and then let it work its magic for you year after year, decade after decade, without your constant interference. So we circle back to the beginning. The $1 million or the doubling penny. The $1 million is a result. The penny is a process. In the long run, a good process will always beat a one-time prize. The world is designed to sell you on results, on shortcuts, on instant gratification, but that is not how real, lasting value is built. I prefer to think of it like planting a tree. You start with a small acorn or a sapling. For the first few years, it's a fragile little thing. It barely seems to grow. You have to have faith. You have to protect it and give it what it needs most: time. But if you are patient, decades later, you don't just have a plant, you have a mighty oak tree. It provides shade for your children and grandchildren. It stands as a testament to the power of a small, patient act. Its growth in its 50th year is greater than all its growth in its first decade combined. That is the eighth wonder of the world. It's not some trick. It's not a secret available only to the rich. It is a fundamental law of nature, available to anyone with the discipline to start, the patience to let time work its magic, and the wisdom to protect their efforts from the enemies of high costs and runaway emotions. The greatest investment you will ever make is in a long-term perspective.
Thank you. Please like and subscribe for more financial wisdom from me, Sterling Rockmoor.